going on, everybody? Durell, the Whiskey Saint. We are back on another Wednesday, guys, for another poor guess. Gotta redeem myself on the last one. If you guys seen, man, I immediately thought some MGP light whiskey, and it ended up being some rum. Just let you know that I'm tasting these literally as they are, man. Completely blind, no cheating whatsoever, because I did really, really bad on that one. So, like I said, trying to redeem myself a bit. We're going to pour something up blind, flash it to you on the camera, and see if I can maybe pick a couple things out of what this sample may be. So if you're new to our channel, guys, hit that like and subscribe. We're going to kick this off. Cheers. We are back, guys, and let's find a sample. I'm going to flash this over to you guys. There's still a decent amount in here. I actually might have added some more, so I'm not even sure, but we're just going to grab this. We're not going to look. Make sure that actually feels pretty full, so put the sample back down. Let me make sure. Actually, that doesn't feel full, guys. Oh, it was full. It was completely full. Oh, well, scratch that. It was a Glamorangi. Probably would have known it was Scotch. So maybe we'll pick something out that's a little bit more difficult. Let's see. I can find what my samples are. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, that one was so full that I couldn't hear the liquid, so I wasn't sure. Oh. I don't know. All right, we're gonna grab it. This one feels like a 2 ounce pour that I may have tried, but let's see. There's a big label on here, so we're just gonna twirl this around a couple times. Hopefully, you guys can see it. If not, you'll be going through it blind just like me. All right, so we're gonna twirl it up, guys. We're gonna pour this into our Glen, and this is halfway full, it looks like. So unless they sent me 1 ounce and a 2 ounce, I may have tried this before, but we're still going into it blind. It's the same as me basically having to pour from, my bar, right? I pretty much had everything over here. So it's still completely blind. It's still fun. And it's still some decent practice. So we're going to swirl this up. And we're just going to dive right in on the nose. Cheers to the junkies. Cheers to y'all. Let's go in. Okay. So definitely not Scotch. More conventional on the nose for me. Given more like bourbon notes, like just typical bourbon, not so much rye forward or American single malt. So immediately I would be going down the road of bourbon, maybe rye, but it doesn't seem like it's anything outside of those two things. But yeah, nice, decent oak. Nothing too crazy, but it seems like it has a decent amount of age, maybe. Some nice proof too. Like you are getting a little bit of some not ethanolness, but it is burns the nose a bit. Nice, like creamy, like vanilla spice. Got some oak in there. Like I'm not sure if this is age stated or not, but it seems like it's at least maybe like a 6-year-old, maybe 7-year-old product. All right, enough on the nose. Let's go in for a taste. Cheers. Oh, This is ironic because we were just talking about how bad I failed thinking something was light whiskey immediately last time, and it ended up being a rum. This right here brought me right down that memory lane. And I'm not sure if it's light whiskey or rum, but I do not think it's actually bourbon. And if it is, it's kind of a weird bourbon. But what's crazy, typically on like light whiskeys and rums, like you can kind of pick that up immediately on the nose, which I wasn't getting at, but the palate kind of reminded me of that all day. Hmm. Let's take another sip. Yeah, that's funny. Like this doesn't nose like American whiskey or light whiskey or a rum, but that's what that first sip tasted like. Let's take another sip. Hmm. This is tough now. I was talking to myself too, trying to pinpoint what exactly made me think to say rum versus light whiskey. It's a certain note that I get on both of those products that remind me of each other. And I'm trying to distinguish which note it is so I can kind of pinpoint in the future and or like now which is which. If I was God, if I was guessing, I kind of want to say rum versus a light whiskey this time. There's just such like a candy note on the back part of the palate. But this is high proof. This gotta be like 125, it tastes like, unless I'm still a little broken. Did have COVID about a week ago. Been gradually trying to get the palate back to normal. I think it is back to normal, but we're gonna see after this. Um, but guys, yeah, I think this is a rum again. Some type of cash strength barrel proof rum, 125 proof. Does come across like it has a decent amount of age. I don't really own many. Actually, I don't own this because it's a sample unless somebody sent me something that I do have. But if I'm guessing light whiskey or rum, which I think it's in that vicinity, I'm gonna say at least 10 years old. Let me take one more sip. This one's getting me, man. And it's so crazy because I did so bad on the last one, thinking it was a light whiskey and it was a rum. And this just brings me right down that same path. Hmm. Yeah, this almost reminds me, and I don't think I had a sample of it. I think I just had the bottle, but of the old line single malt finish rum that they have. This kind of like just brings me down that path, man. It's probably gonna be a light whiskey this time, and I'm gonna strike out like again. But I think the proof is right around like 125, maybe a little bit above that. Let's just say 127 proof, 10-year. We're gonna go with rum. It doesn't remind me of like a four square rum. So if I had to guess state, I would think maybe like some type of online, but I don't remember somebody sending me a sample. But we'll just say Maryland for state of distillation. Actually, no, because it wasn't distilled by them. I think it was actually Dominican rum. But yeah, I think I'm going in too much on it. I'm really, really curious to see how close or how far I was on this guy. So we're just going to do a quick reveal and see how I did. Light BP. So I imagine that is light whiskey, BP. I'm not sure what BP is. So this label is actually really vague, and it's a buddy of mine. So maybe I'll update in the comments what this is. I'll have to reach out to see if I can get an answer in time. But it's indeed a light whiskey and not a rum this time. Like, this is wild. Like, I'm gonna have to maybe blind myself a few different times with some light whiskeys and some rum so I can really get that note that is tricking me. So if anybody's looking to send me send me a blind and you want me to mess up, this is probably the way to do it. Yeah, there's something with light whiskey and rum that's just throwing me for a loop. I said 127 proof. I did say this drink hot. It's 134 light whiskey. I would think MGP. I haven't really had any light whiskey that wasn't MGP. And knowing who sent me this, it's 99% MGP. Because he has a ton of it. But yeah, guys, look, striking out again, man. So no redemption for me this time, which is sad. I was hoping that I was going to do well. If I would have got the first one, the Scotch, I would have probably, well, I wouldn't have had nailed what bottle it was, but I definitely would have nailed Scotch. So I don't know if I'm still broken or not. Like, I was able to taste, I think, well enough to know it was between a light whiskey and a rum. Just came across a little bit more rummy for me this time. But hey, not too bad, but not really great either. But maybe next time I can actually truly redeem myself, guys, and see if I can actually just get something. I used to be on a roll, bottle casting a couple things, and now I'm kind of just crapping a bed a bit. But it's still in all fun. Appreciate you guys sticking with me so far. Until next time, guys. Cheers.
Jeff, just be friends with me.